Hey guys, welcome back to another AFL fantasy video. Round 1 is finally over, and in today's video I'll be going through my team, seeing how I went. I'll be discussing a few of the trade options ahead of round 2, and I'll have a little Q&A section at the end of today's video. Just before we get into my team, I'd like to say one quick thing. Make sure all of you are subscribed. I'll be doing weekly fantasy videos. I'll be going through my score, looking at some trade options, and so if you guys are interested in that, make sure you're subscribed. So I started in the back line. I had Jake Lloyd, 126, really pleased with that. I'm glad I went him over Laird in the end. I was tossing up between which one or even having both of them, but I went with Lloyd and I'm really happy with that. At D2 I had Brodie Smith. He got 75. I think he'll probably be around that. I'm not expecting too much from him. I'm just hoping 75 to 80. That'll be a really good score from him, and he'll boost his price up to a nice stepping stone for a primo. Zach Williams, D3, he had 67. I was a little bit worried about him. He didn't really look too interested and wasn't getting much of the ball, even though GWS were so dominant there. So he is on the chopping block, but I just think I'll stay strong with him another couple of weeks. The three rookies I had there, Clark, Dersma and Scrimshaw. I was really pleased with Clark and Dersma. I think they played their roles really well. I think Dersma is looking like a really good cash cow. Scrimshaw, however, I wasn't so pleased with. He only just got his way to 50 at the end. He was on 32, I think, like in the last quarter, and he just sort of pigged his way to 53 there. He was pretty lucky, to be honest. He only deserved 35, 30, 40 odd. But I'm not complaining, I'll take that. Then I had Burgess. Guy, he was disappointing, just like Collins. Oh, I was tossing up having Collins on my field. Thank God I didn't go with that. But yeah, I had Burgess there, and then Marty Hoare on the bench as well. Now, going over to my score, I scored 2,172. So it puts me at the overall ranking of 6,235. I'll take that. It's not a brilliant start by all means, but I'll take that. So in 2017, I ranked 18,000 after round 1, and I ended up getting in the top 100 before the buys. So it's not all about round 1. I know Selby in 2017 as well, he was ranked 20k and ended up winning by a lot. So if you're out near that 20, 30k mark, you can still come back, guys. So don't get too caught up about that. It's only round 1. Getting into my midfield now, I had Cogs, captain, 161. Look, what more can you ask for your captain of in round 1? So Canelio just destroyed him in that last quarter. He started off forward in the quarters, and he's so damaging when he's in the forward line. Like, he was so dangerous and goal hungry, and he was going for everything. I think he could possibly be the new pig this year. I wouldn't be side trading him from McRae or Cripps, but he's number 1 trade target to bring him in. If you're looking for another midfield primo. Apart from a few options, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, Paddy Cripps, 101. I was a bit disappointed with him. He didn't look very interested. I actually went to the match on Thursday night, and I was really taking note of Cripps and his movements around the ground. After every centre stoppage and centre bounce, he would just stay in the middle. He wouldn't really follow to the next stoppage or really have an effort apart from that first initial bounce. And he was walking up and down the ground, up and down the centre of the ground. He wasn't really attempting to be that option down the line, taking contested marks. And he was sort of just a bit lost and really unfit at times, I think. So I'd probably hold him, but it's kind of worrying signs for him. But the good thing is he still managed to get 101 after a poor effort. So, yeah, that's an interesting one. Then I've got Brayshaw there. All the hype was in around him, and everyone was expecting him to get 120, 130 round 1. But yeah, he only managed 100. He looked a little bit worrying as well, just like Cripps. I still both of them will push maybe 110 average, but I'll be holding them for another couple of weeks. Some people are willing to trade them, but I think you got to stay strong with the primos you picked. And I think Brayshaw, well, I hope he bounces back from that poor game. Matt Crouch, really pleased I had Matt Crouch there. He sort of just made my midfield look a little bit better with a 132 score there. So yeah, you know what you're going to expect with him, and it's going to be pretty good this year. along with his brother Brad Krause had there. 109. What more can you ask for him? Libba, 87. Look, he had a great game, 87. He was a bit lost at the start, but he worked his way into it, and to get to 87 was I was pretty pleased with that. However, I think he might be on the chopping block for me this week. I'll get into my trade thoughts a bit later in the episode, but yeah, Libba, he does what we asked for, but there's just other players a little bit higher than him, a price a little bit higher than him that can just go upwards of 60 points, 70 points higher than him. So Libba's one to watch. If you guys already have Rocky and Sheed and Taranto, I think just hold Libba because he's going to be a great stepping stone, make some cash. But yeah, I'll talk about that later anyway. Anyway, Sam Walsh, absolute gun, 87. He's going to average 80 to 90, and if you don't have him, then try and get him in. But two guys that should be higher on your target list is Charlie Constable and Bailey Scott. Wow. These two, absolute beasts. I'm really disappointed that I don't have the 3 rookie structure on the field, in the midfield, because Scott and Constable, they're going to go 80 plus this year, I think, and a little bit like the Tim Kellys of last year. Tom Atkins, I was pretty pleased with that. I don't think you're going to expect much more, maybe a 50 to 60, but yeah, he's playing that sort of forward role, so I just watch with him in the next few weeks. In the rucks, Grundy and Gawn. I tossed up the idea so many times of running that Goldie and Witts strategy. Now, Goldie and Witts both outscored Gawn by a lot, and they would have pocketed you 360k if you chose them instead of Grundy and Gawn. But of course, I went with Grundy and Gawn. Come on, back the two big dogs. Everyone said they'll score 110, but they were very, very poor. Put it that blunt, they were pathetic. Grundy 84. I'm gonna hold him this week as a VC loophole option. I think that I'll give Grundy a one-off. That was a once-off, I think. And Stanley's he's a ruckman that really restricts his opponent's points. So I think don't worry too much about Grundy. Gawn, on the other hand, he just didn't look like he gave any effort at all. He was very poor, and I'm really tossing up the idea of trading him. And I'll get into that when I get into my trade discussions. But just both of them, I can't wait to see that average move up. There's those two there. Anyway, in the forward line there, I've got Dangerfield. He was quite disappointing, actually. Only just scraped his way to 100 there. But everyone has him, so you don't really need to talk much about him. Dunkley, he was really disappointing for me. He was killing it in the first half. He was on like 40 or 30 or 40 at quarter time, and then he just disappeared badly and faded in that last quarter. He had a really poor role. I was quite worried about it. When the game was on the line, he wasn't really in the midfield or in that ball-winning area for the Dogs. So I am quite worried about Dunkley. He's one of those guys where you don't want to side trade your premiums round 1, but geez, it's tempting with Dunkley there. And you have guys like Travis Boak, who I was considering, go out and pump a 144 for like 20k less than him. It's tempting, but anyway, my F3, I had Tim Kelly on the Friday night, because I was tossing up between Tim Kelly, Travis Boak, and Isaac Heaney. On the Friday night, Tim Kelly bangs out a 50 at quarter time. I was thinking, jeepers, I have got the money here. Tim Kelly, a lot better than Boak, a lot better than Heaney. That's all I could ask for. He ended up slowing down and got 108. Look, I'll still obviously take that. It's a great score. But then, yeah, Saturday comes around. Bloody Travis Boak. Or was it Sunday? I can't remember. Anyway, Travis Boak bumps out a 144. God, it was good. Boak, I think, is a big trade target. I think he'll average 95 to 100 this year. Anyway, James Warple got 101. This guy here, I think, him and Cousins are really going to take that midfield role that Titch has left. And Warple, if you don't have him, try and get him in. 500k still. I think he could even push to be in that top 6 to 8 forwards. And at his price still, he's a well-worthy trade target. Setterfield and Drew, what more can you ask for with the with the rookies. They've all done well for me this week. Setterfield and Drew. So Setterfield, I think that's what you're going to expect from him. Expect 70s. And Willem Drew, I think he'll go probably 75 to 85 average, playing that Port midfield. I am a bit worried with Wines coming back. There's said he's going to come back in the next couple of weeks. I think that Drew might play a little bit less midfield, but I think he's playing well enough, so hopefully he keeps his spot. Then on the bench I had Brian Myers. He was okay. I'll definitely keep him for another week or so. And then Bolter, quite disappointing. I was thinking about trading him out and trying to get Parker and or Schultz that have their really low break evens. But yeah, Bolter was pretty poor. But I think with the injury of Alex Ransos and press conference, Damien Hardwick was saying that Bolter could be switched back. So if that is true, I think I might be even hold him and fix up my on-ground issues. Overall, my team, I'm still liking my team. Like some of the players there, like Williams, Brayshaw, Cripps, Dunkley, Grundy and Gawn, obviously, all can do a lot better than what they did. So if they fulfill their potential and what I think they can go, like my team's not too bad, and I definitely think there's a lot of upside with my team. And yeah, we'll get into what I'm thinking about with my. Now I'm going to go and do a quick rundown of some trade ideas I have heading into round 2. So my first priority is getting out Bolter and keeping that cash generation flowing, and getting in the likes of Schultz and Parker, who have break-evens of 12 and negative 12 and negative 11, as you can see there. So I think if I can get Bolter out, he has a break-even of 22. He probably won't be going up much from this price, so he's not really making much money. Whereas Parker and Schultz, even if they score a 40 or 50 this week, I'll have them on my bench, and I think they'll still make money. Like they'll still push for 300k, which can be a great downgrade later in the season. But so I'll be trying to get Bolter up to one of them, but in order to do that, I have to make money somehow. So I'm thinking, I know it might sound stupid, but Paddy Cripps or Angus Brayshaw. Now look, I'm a Carlton fan, right? Cripps, disappointing. But did you see this guy play on the weekend? Let me go to this order in the score, and top of the chart, Pig, Tom Rockcliffe. He scored 166. He scored this against a premiership favourite midfield, a ruckman that was, well, he wasn't really trying, but he was attempting to hit it down the throats of all those midfielders. Tom Rockcliffe, he just was better than all of them. He destroyed Melbourne, and with a score of 166 against them, I'm really scared to see what he's going to do against my Blues. So, Tom Rockcliffe, don't expect him to go 166, guys, but expect him to go 120 plus minimum. I think, so Cripps and Brayshaw, you're probably the same output, I think, but you're pocketing, what's that? You're pocketing 100, 125k more by doing that, which allows me to then easily go Bolter up to whatever rookie, so Parker or Schultz, which will keep my cash generation going. And Rocky's break even, what's he at? He's got a break even of 38, so he's going to go up as well. And I think Rocky will definitely be a keeper from now on. Another idea I'm tossing up with is Maxi Gawn. Now, just hear me out on this one, guys. It's pretty late. It's well, not pretty late, but Monday night, 8:43. Just bear with me. I've just had this thought. This guy from Carlton, Andrew Phillips, break even of 32. He scored bloody 20 points more than Gawn on the weekend. Look at that price difference. Look at all the money you're going to be making with this trade. Now, some people may say this is very stupid, and looking back on it tomorrow morning after I post this video, I'm probably thinking, shit, that was a wrong move, but Phillips. Anyway, this is just an idea, so don't have a go at me in the comments. It's just an idea. Phillips, he scored 83 on the weekend. I'm not expecting him to go 83. I'm expecting a maybe 65 to 80. I'll take that, I'll take that for his price. He's got a break even of 32, so he's going to lift and be around 450, and that'll be right in time. All I need is 2 or 3 weeks, and so I can get him to Mumford. And once Mumford comes back, hopefully he's scoring okay, and then he can sort of lift that cash generation, so I can end up getting gone maybe after his bye back in. So Phillips, and then I can go, instead I can hold Cripps and Brayshaw and go Libba up to Rocky. Now this will also pocket me a fair bit of cash. Let me just check. 175. So pretty much is the exact same as the amount of money I'll be getting doing the other two trades. But at the moment, I'm probably thinking the smarter one might be to go Cripps to Rocky and then fix up my rookies, because that's will bring the greatest cash generation. And I probably should stay strong on Gorn another week, because to let him just at least attempt to make up for his poor effort. Anyway, so they're the trade thoughts I'm having at the moment. So my number one is trying to fix up those rookies. I think they're really important to keep your cash generation going. Then if you have the luxury, so say you start up with a Merritt or a Dusty, trade them out, get in Rocky, get in your Taranto, your Sheed, all those three options there I've just said. They're the real deal, I think, and this year, and they're going to be really nice money-making options. Travis Boak is another interesting talking point in the forward line. I could go Dunkley down to Travis Boak, but that cash doesn't really get me anywhere. I don't think it even gets me Bolter up to Schultz or Parker now, so I'm just not sure with that one. Anyway, they're my trade thoughts heading into round two. I'm sure my thoughts will change by Friday night and when lockout is lifted, but when lockout starts. But now I'll just get into a few questions that you guys have sent me. These questions were sent in on Twitter, so we'll get into the first one. We've got Harry. He says, which two rookies would you prioritise getting out of Parker, Durs and Scott? That's pretty easy for me. Number one, Scott. You need Scott. If you don't have him on your bench, you got to play him on. Sorry, if you don't have him on your field, you need to have him on your bench. Scott will make you so much money. Scoring 96. I don't even know what his break-even at, but it's definitely in the negatives, probably negative 20, something like that. This man had a really nice game, got the Rising Star for the week, and I think he can make you. He'll end up being 400-500k by the end of the year. So Scott's number one easily. Dersma, I think he's the clear number two there. He's another great on-field rookie option in the back lines. If you don't have him, depends your structure. Say you're running three rookies. Say you've got Collins, Clark, and Scrimshaw in your back line. You need to have Dersma instead of Collins or Scrimshaw there, because Dersma's scoring output is just so much better than the other two. So, you got to have Dersma there. Parker as well. Parker's probably, definitely third on the list. So, if you have the luxury to do what I'm doing, say the Bolter or Petrocelli up to Parker, I think those two are really good options, but I wouldn't be starting Parker on my ground, whereas Durs and Scott, you definitely could. So, Parker is number 3 out of that. The next question was Sly by name, and he said, or she's, I think it's he there, said, we had the exact same starting team. What? There you go, okay. Thoughts on Brad Crouch and Libba to Rocky and Scott? For starters, I do already have Scott, so I don't have the exact same team, but maybe you're talking about on-field. Gee, that comment sort of shocked me. Anyway, Brad Crouch, yeah. Gee, that's the thing. Brad Crouch, he got 109. I don't really think you can trade that. Like he 109. What are we really expecting from Rocky? Are we expecting 115, 120 average? I don't think so. So I don't think you can justify going Brad Crouch and Libba to Rocky and Scott. But gee, it's tempting actually. Like, okay, let's go through it. So Brad Crouch, what are you expecting? 95, 100? Can you get to 100? Let's say Brad Crouch 100 and Libba 85. I think that's reasonable. So 185 there. Then you've got Rocky, 110. And then Scott 75. So it's about the same what you're doing. So I don't really think you need to burn 2 trades on that. I would be trying to get Scott in if you don't have him, however. So yeah, look to get in Scott and maybe try and get Rocky somehow else, because don't see those trades paying off well in the long run. You'll get lots of immediate cash generation, but yeah, that's an interesting one anyway. Next question here. Are no trades ridiculous? I'm not inside the top 10k, but every trade is sideways. So he's nailed the rookies. Also, do you think this week's scoring is inflated by those with Rockcliffe and C and Cogs C, the captain? My team is balanced well, but the scoring power of those mids tip me over with Dunks underperforming. Yeah, look, it's a good point that you've made there. But you get 2 trades every week, so I think, yes, it is ridiculous if you don't use them. Personally, there's always something you can do. So you said you've nailed the rookies there, but even maybe a Dunkley if you have there, you're not inside the top 10k. So obviously you've got a few players that weren't up to the standard of that other people had. So maybe look to get into Rockcliffe. If you don't have Cornelia, I think he's a really good option as well. But the other point you've made there, with scoring has been inflated with those with Rockcliffe and Cornelio. Yes, I do think they are inflated, but I think lots of people are going to have Rockcliffe and Cornelio soon, so I just think that they will get a jump on the competition because everyone else will start jumping on them, and they'll, if you know what I mean, the guys that were ranked higher initially will keep that distance between the other people. So if you want to, I think an idea is not going to Rockcliffe just in case he doesn't do what everyone thinks he's going to do. And then you can sort of make that that distance that they made up back. And I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I do think that you should be using your 2 trades every week. So if you're really stuck, just DM me, Louis, and I'll have a look at that. Anyway, Nick, next question. Would it be crazy to trade someone like a McRae, Cripps, or Brayshaw down to Rocky? Now, hopefully this video has helped you with that. I do think it is crazy, but it's justifiable. Like, these guys, you're making, like, even up to almost 200k from McRae down to Rocky, and if you can really make your team better with that, so for example, you could get Williams to a Newman, who I think is now going to be a top 6 defender, I do think it is justifiable. So yes, it is. Who do you think is the best underpriced player? The best underpriced player under 500k. Okay, I got a good player for you. If you're talking in the midfield, I think James Cousins. This bloke, he's going to average 85 plus. Now this is one man that I'm really disappointed about. Like I started Cousins. I had Cousins in a lot of my teams, and I was tossing up with starting him. I didn't start with him, of course. He goes out, gets a 98, but I think Cousins will have that mid-roll, sharing it with Warple there. So I think he's a really nice option for you under 500k. The other guy there is Warple in the forward line. If I think he's set for I think he's about 500k, so he's set for a big price rise there. Anyway, thanks guys for sending in your questions. That just about wraps up today's video. It's a bit of a longer one, but I think about 15-20 minutes worth of content every week. Just about right. I think so. Every week I'll be going through my team, how I went in the week, and I'll give you an idea of my trades for the following round. So make sure you guys are subscribed, like this video, and I'll see you guys next week. Good luck.